Marco Marino made thousands to protect what he thought were drug shipments coming through Columbus and handing over kilos of stolen fentanyl. John Koczkowski aided in the theft of kilos of drugs to distribute back to the streets of Columbus. Joel Mefford is accused of stealing 20 kilos of cocaine from the Columbus Police property room and replacing them with fake kilos. John Castillo is charged with stealing 10 kilos of cocaine from the 12 he seized from a Columbus drug house. All 4 former Columbus police officers helped make up the CPD Drug Cartel Unit.
We are extremely disappointed. We're embarrassed about what has occurred.
Only months on the job back in 2021, Columbus Police Chief Elaine Bryant addressed the first federal indictments of Marco Marino and John Koczkowski.
These officers have to be supervised properly.
So now with the new arrests of Joel Mefford and John Castillo in February of 2024, I'm looking into who supervised this criminally active unit. The many records I obtained from Columbus Police all list the team sergeant was Eric Moore. This after then Police Chief Kim Jacobs fired Moore in 2016 for dozens of inappropriate overtime submissions and payments, and being what she called deceptive in his internal affairs investigation. Moore got his job back with the representation provided by his union, the Fraternal Order of Police.
The allegations administratively do not matter to us. We still have to represent them the same way.
After an arbitrator agreed Moore should be reinstated with full back pay, he went back to supervising the Drug Cartel Unit.
Do you think the FOP had played some sort of role since the supervisor who was there was the one you fought for to get back there?
So no, and I think any assertion of that was completely inappropriate and out of line. And it wasn't just the sergeant's officers, it was the lieutenant's officers, the commandant's officers.
Eric Moore spoke about his lieutenant with an investigator with Columbus Public Safety back in May of 2021.
She has went out of the way to make them feel welcome. She goes over and talks to them, asks them about their families, where you're from. I guarantee she knows more about each one of those guys than I do.
Moore said his lieutenant also ordered him to supervise them in the field, saying this lack of supervision worked against CPD's standard operating procedure.
Like, I had to start coming in on GPS installations overnight because technically under the SOP, a sergeant has to be there in the execution of a warrant. Do you think I wanted to get up at 2:30 in the morning and come and put trackers on? I didn't, but I did it because that's what I was told to do.
Would you call that questionable supervision?
Sure, and that's why a sergeant has a lieutenant. That's why a lieutenant has a commander.
While federal agents claim Moore's detectives trafficked the drugs in their own drug cases from February of 2020 to September of 2021, he defended their work to the city just months before the first federal indictments came down.
In the period of time that you supervised this unit, with Koczkowski and Marino and were any of them taking advantage of the call-out times to your knowledge, using it more frequently than any other officer or anything like that?
No, I don't think so. I think we were, we put on more trackers than anybody else probably.
Okay.
In the past, we haven't been very effective in the last year and a half or so, but I don't think that I can't think of a time where I was just like, what are they doing?
Also in this interview, Sergeant Moore said he just transferred out of the Drug Cartel Unit to go to accident investigations.
You requested a transfer, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And it's AIU, right? The Accident Investigation?
AIU.
Okay.
You know more about it than I do.
Okay.
This is where no evaluations were listed in Moore's personnel file since that 2021 transfer. So I specifically asked about Moore's oversight within CPD. Weeks later, I received this, several reviews that were not originally listed in Moore's personnel file. In January of this year, his new lieutenant issued him a development plan stating, "You have a difficult time understanding the duties and responsibilities of a sergeant. You will need to demonstrate a better working knowledge of the sergeant assignment." He was ordered to supervisor school, which took place on the same day federal agents arrested Mefford and Castillo. At the bottom of the plan, a refusal where Moore was supposed to sign. At our request for an interview, Sergeant Moore responded back this week to thank me for reaching out and to direct all my requests to CPD's Public Information Office.
If you look at some of these units around the country, that there was some issues, including in Columbus, there was little supervision, lack of supervision, sometimes no supervision.